All right, guys, let's talk about pepper spray for a little bit. And what I got in this box is some serious stuff. That stuff actually eats styrofoam. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Before I open that, let me mention these two other things that are no slouch. This DPS black label, it's 10% OC and 2% CS. They use this sometimes in bigger containers, but in prisons. No, I do not work in a prison. But they use this in prisons with a bigger container and a nozzle, a hose. And if somebody won't comply inside of a cell, they'll actually put this through the food port, spray some in there, and it'll start to choke the person, and they'll be able to come in and with gas masks on, and they'll be able to get them without having any harm to anybody going in there. It works for that too. I carry this at work. Main reason I carry this, I can carry whatever I want at work, but the main reason I carry this is because of the clip and the potency that I seen on YouTube. There's a guy that gets sprayed with this that's going to work in the jail. And I clip this on my body armor. It's a more compact size. It's more of like a fogger, which I like. Some people don't. It just depends on where you're at. Okay, this is the newer version of the Fox Labs 5.3. Okay, this is what I was carrying in the vehicle. I'm probably going to switch to this. But this is a smaller container, and I have Velcro in the vehicle up near the dash of my truck, and I just have this Velcroed in there. It's got the flip top. This is the way, I like the flip top the best. I think it's the best way to go with that. What I'm going to show you now, and I'll explain to you about it, but this is probably one of the strongest ones out there, I would say. That's for sure. This knife is sharp. So here we go, guys. Let me get the information out of there that doesn't need to be on video. So let's go ahead and open it up. They wrap it like this to try to keep it from getting damaged during shipment, because that would not be good. So here it is, guys. Let's see what the date is on this thing. 11/17/21. So it's not that old. You get a good 3 years out of it. But this is the 1.4. Let me explain to you what the difference is between this Fox and that one laying on the table. So this 1.4 is the original base that they used to use. They changed the base in this. The base that is in this will not eat its styrofoam. The base that is in this 1.4 will. After you finish watching this video, go to, get back in your search bar on YouTube and type in Fox pepper spray eats styrofoam. Somebody shows you a little video clip. I'm not going to waste this and do it. I know what it does. When you spray this into a styrofoam container, as you sit there, you can slowly see it start to eat into the styrofoam. Now, it doesn't do that to somebody's face. It doesn't eat their face, but it just shows you the potency that is in this with the original base formula that people really want. This is the cone and a state law enforcement formula, but this is the cone. It's what I like. You do have to watch a little bit for blowback depending on where you're at and what you're doing, but I like the cone. You have a much better chance of hitting what you're aiming at with the cone, or them just breathing, just being near this and breathing it in, even if you was to miss, is still going to make them start cough and choke and things like that. So I like Fox Labs and this 1.4. You can see, you know the 1.4 when you see it because the label's a little bit different color. This is like a light gold, and this is like a reddish gold. This DPS is really good stuff too. You can look up the video on YouTube of the guy getting sprayed with that's going to work in the prison, and they test it on him, and it wipes the guy out. It takes so long for him to get back acclimated. Even when they're working on him with people that know what they're doing, it takes so long for that guard to get back into, you get his senses back and be able to maneuver around and function right. But this stuff here is no joke. This is called 1.4. Now, like I said, this is the 5.3. Still good stuff, will still work. But this right here if you take everything I've got, this would be the least I would want to be sprayed with. And this would really be bad as well. Either one of these, you spray somebody with that, you're probably going to be calling, you want to notify law enforcement when you spray somebody if you have to use it. And then you're probably going to tell them to go ahead and dispatch an ambulance out there. The ambulance is going to come out and they're going to use different things, and they might have wipes that counter the effects of this to try to help the person. It's going to take a while, but they're probably going to call an ambulance. You should always call, depending on what's going on in the situation, but you should always call when you pepper spray somebody. You're going to protect yourself that way. And also, if the person is totally out of commission, like he would be getting hit with one of these two things, you want to make sure that it gets, even if you have to flee the situation because things are going down, it's bad, you got to get out of there. When you drive away, you can still call and get them to the closest area possible and have them, help. If I actually spray somebody, I would start administering some help to them right there on site, and I would also be on the phone calling. So that's just the way it is. That's just what we do. But this is good stuff, guys. You can't go wrong with any of these that you have. I would not want to be sprayed with any of those on the table. But definitely these two would be the top least choices that I would want to be sprayed with. All right, guys, I hope that helps. Pepper spray is a very good tool to have, when you're in situations where you definitely can't pull your firearm and you don't want to brandish your firearm and get in trouble. There's a much lower threshold to be able to go to something like this than there is a firearm or a knife or something. Somebody's in your face, you feel threatened. They're not, you're stepping backwards. They're not getting the hint. They're not leaving you alone. They don't have any weapons on them, but you feel they may be able to overpower you. You want to get out of this situation. You want to do what you can do. Depending on what state you're in and your laws, that would be times you could use something like this. It's non-lethal when you use that. They will get aid or whatever, and they will get it out of their eyes, and they'll be fine. So it's a non-lethal option. Sometimes the law enforcement and the person that comes in the ambulance, they might ask you for the container. They want to know which one you used. Sometimes they'll want to know which brand and what you used, and they'll want to look on the can just to double check. That's fine. You can let them do that. It's definitely a good go-to that is in between going from 0 to 100 with your firearm. There's a lot of play in between, that this could come in handy. Even if there were two people that you felt were going to attack you and you felt you needed to defend yourself, you was in fear of being harmed, one of these in the cone could easily disable two people. So that's just my thoughts on it. A lot of people don't carry pepper spray. A lot of people just carry their firearm. I understand that. I was talking about that with my nephew Jordan last night. He just carries a firearm. He used to carry a pepper spray, but he doesn't anymore. And I said, well, honestly, Jordan, you are in the majority of what people do. People don't want to carry a ton of stuff like this because it's hard to carry. You might not have pockets for it. You don't want to carry a pouch on your belt. This is nice because of the clip, but jamming this in a pocket or this, it does take up room. Nice to have in a vehicle though. All right, I'm going to quit rambling on, guys. So there you go. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope it helps you if you're going to shop for pepper spray. Till next time, guys, this is DOF, and I'm out of there.